This is the first phone that we've called Pro.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. After 10 months of using the iPhone 11 Pro Max, this is how my iPhone 11 Pro Max has held up. Let's talk about the durability of the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and this might actually vary from person to person. But in my own case, I've always been the type of guy that uses a phone case on every of my phone. But the fact that I'm using a phone case on every of my phone doesn't mean my phone are now prone to breaking. At the end of the day, glass is still glass. So the glass at the back of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is actually Gorilla 6, which at the time was the strongest glass on any iPhone or any phone in general. But like I said the other time, glass is still glass and glass breaks. But one thing I'm going to say about the durability of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is that as long as it's not something crazy like dropping your phone from a story building or putting your phone in the train track or something like that, the glass at the back of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is actually very strong. The build quality of the iPhone 11 Pro Max in general is actually very strong. When it comes to the glass on the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the glass is also strong. But one thing I noticed about the glass on the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max is that it easily gets scratches. Probably because I sometimes put my phone in the same pocket with my keys. That might actually explain it. But even with that, I'm going to say the glass on the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max is also strong. So when it comes to the build quality of the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I'm going to give the iPhone 11 Pro Max a 9 out of 10, which is not actually bad. Now let's talk about the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The screen resolution of the phone hasn't changed since the phone was made, and I don't think that's actually physically possible. But the resolution of the content you can watch on your iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max, I'm not really sure about the iPhone 11, but I'm sure about the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pro Max. The resolution has actually changed ever since the iOS 14 was released. But anyways, you can now watch 4K videos on YouTube, probably other platforms too like Netflix, Hulu, and Disney+. Before the software updates, I used to wonder why my iPhone 11 Pro Max can't display 4K content on YouTube, because Samsung phones have been able to view 4K content on YouTube for at least 3 years now. But as some of you might know, Apple likes to come late to the party. They like to take their time, because I used to wonder why even the iPhone X that was released in 2017 can't view 4K content on YouTube. But it's finally here. You can now view 4K content on your iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. Now let's talk about the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max in general, ignoring 1080p or 4K videos. The display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max is actually great. The brightness is great, the color science is great. So when it comes to the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So speaking of software, let's talk about the software on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. But before I start, a sub to my channel is going to help me a lot. Anyways, back to the software updates on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. iPhones in general are known for getting frequent software updates. Even the iPhone SE that was released back in 2016 can run on iOS 14 right now, which is actually a great thing. As at the time the iPhone 11 series was released, they were launched with iOS 13. iOS 14 is not officially out, but you can now run your iPhone 11 Pro Max even back to the original iPhone SE that was released in 2016 on any of the iOS 14 beta programs. So when it comes to software, the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the other iPhone 11 series are expected to get software updates for the next 6, 7, probably even 8 years. Major upgrades every year and minor upgrades in between. So when it comes to software, I'm going to give all iPhones a 10 out of 10. Let's talk about the battery life on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. As at the time the iPhone 11 Pro Max was released, the battery life was actually amazing. But after 10 months of using the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I actually noticed that the battery life is not as great as it used to be. I mean, it's not terrible, but enough for me to notice that something is wrong. So I went to the settings of my phone to check the battery health. And you can actually check the battery health of your phone by going into settings, battery, and you're going to find your battery life over there. I found out that my battery health is actually on 89%. I was actually disappointed because I was actually thinking, what if I plan to use my iPhone 11 Pro Max for 3 years? That means the rate at which the battery health of my phone is going to be decreasing is going to increase with time. So after 3 years, I'm expecting the iPhone 11 Pro Max to have like a 55 or a 60% battery life. I don't know if that's a very terrible thing, but at the same time, I was also thinking that it might actually be my fault because I do charge my iPhone 11 Pro Max with a 63 watt adapter. And this adapter actually belongs to my MacBook Pro. Because recently I've been hearing that if you use a fast adapter on your iPhone or even any phone, it's going to destroy your battery health faster. So I've been thinking it might actually be my fault because most of the time I use this 63 watt adapter and it actually charges my phone faster than any other adapter. But at the same time, you can't blame me. You don't expect me to charge my iPhone 11 Pro Max with a 5 watt charger. I mean, that 5 watt charger is the most terrible thing that mankind has ever made. So even if it's true, I'm still going to continue using my 63 watt adapter. But anyways, I'm still going to rate the battery life on the iPhone 11 Pro Max to be around 8.5 over 10. So now let's talk about the camera on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The camera on the iPhone 11 Pro Max is one of the best, if not the best, on any smartphone ever. I mean, when it comes to picture, I can see phones like the Google Pixel phones or Samsung phones or Huawei, is it Huawei? Huawei phones? Yeah, or Huawei phones. When it comes to picture, I can see those phones competing with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. But when it comes to video, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is the best, like hands down. I mean, other phones are not far off, but the iPhone 11 Pro Max is the best when it comes to videos. iPhones in general takes better video than any other smartphone in the market. The iPhone 11 Pro Max itself is the first triple lens camera system that Apple has ever made. A main camera, a telephoto, and an ultra wide. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm actually shooting this whole video with my iPhone 11 Pro Max, the front camera actually. I'm shooting the video at 4K 24 frames per second. And I'm not even a professional when it comes to lighting and other things. But just pointing and shooting on the iPhone 11 Pro Max makes you look like a pro, like easily. I'm going to display some sample pictures of the iPhone 11 Pro Max for you guys to see. And as you can see, the pictures on the iPhone 11 Pro Max are actually amazing. The ultra wide, the telephoto, everything about the iPhone 11 Pro Max is just amazing. So when it comes to the camera on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. So 2019 to the time I'm shooting this video, which is July 2020, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is the best camera you can get on any smartphone ever. So does it make sense to get the iPhone 11 Pro Max 2 months before the iPhone 12 release? Even without considering any factor, I'm gonna say yes. Because the things I've been hearing about the iPhone 12 is not really that exciting. I mean, no 120Hz refresh rate. The battery life is even getting smaller on the iPhone 12 series, according to rumors. I'm not really sure because obviously I don't work at Apple. But according to the big guys like Everything Apple Pro and other big guys in the tech community, the battery life on the iPhone 12 series are expected to be smaller. I mean, I don't even know how Apple is going to come to the stage and just explain that. For some reason, I'm not really excited to get the iPhone 12, even though I'm going to get the iPhone 12. And not only that, according to rumors, the iPhone 12 won't even come with a charging adapter and the AirPod in the case. Imagine the people who are getting the iPhone 12 and that's their first iPhone. They still have to go through the stress of getting a new adapter or even spending an extra cash to get an adapter. I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me, but it's still Apple. People are still going to buy Apple. For some reason, I feel like Apple using some jazz or some juju. I don't know if you guys know what juju means, but things like this, other companies can't do it. Only Apple has the confidence to do stuff like this. Remember the time they removed the headphone jack just because they want to sell their AirPods, and other companies actually followed. Once Apple does something, other companies are going to follow. So is the iPhone 11 Pro Max still a good deal 2 months before the iPhone 12 event? I'm going to say yes, because the value of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is still intact. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you to wait because the iPhone 12 event is just 2 months away. And I'm not saying this because I think the iPhone 12 are going to be better devices than the iPhone 11 series. I'm just saying it because, I mean, it's a new design. But at the same time, design actually comes down to choice. Some people might like the boxy design on the iPhone 12 series, and some people might like the round-off design on the iPhone 11 series. So design actually comes down to choice. As far as we know now, the only difference between the iPhone 11 series and the iPhone 12 series is the design. Maybe also the A13 and the A14 Bionic chip, which I don't really care about. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I really appreciate you taking your time to watch my videos. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up. It's gonna help me a lot. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel because my next video is going to be about the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. The event is coming up on the 5th of August, so I'm going to be covering the event, unboxing, reviews, and comparison videos. So you don't want to miss out. So kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on notification bell so you're notified every single time I drop a new video. Anyways guys, enjoy the rest of your day or maybe good night, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Peace.